Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Being that October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, I will be spending some time in my different books, one of which being Socially Sweet, Privately Cruel, Abusive Men. And I want to quote from that book. We're going to talk about pretty boys, more specifically, abusive pretty boys. And so I will read an excerpt. A pretty boy, or what some would call a player, enjoys pretty toys and will seek a victim who isn't very knowledgeable when it comes to the games men play. He is typically shallow, drawn to not only a nice appearance, personality, and good-looking body, but also toward the toys the beautiful women might own or rent. Whether those toys are fast and shiny or functional and practical, but whatever they are, he pictures himself using them. I could see myself in that car. Wow. I can picture her going with me to the next event. Yes, my boys will go off about that one. Pretty boy is going to get what he wants. Now, the single, gullible, desperate, recently heartbroken, career-driven, mothers with children don't have a clue that these narcissistic, handsome guys are studying them like books. Instead, these women are just too busy with their responsibilities to pay close attention to when a game is being run on them. They are simply focused on how the good-looking man makes them feel and what they are willing to give them. If they check off as being good catches on these women's dating preference lists, then they are welcome into their inner circle for any number of things, from assistance with their careers to potential sperm donors, even if they don't want any children. Some unattractive women who are quick to believe that God has sent these jaw-dropping, gorgeous men into their lives tend to be more susceptible to the mind games, especially if they have a long track record of not attracting gorgeous guys and have been single for a long time. Spiritual, lonely women tend to connect their dates to what they believe is answer to prayers through various miracles, signs, and wonders, rather than saying, I need to step back and take a good look at this situation because he just might be a wolf in sheep's clothing. They look for or make confirmation happen on whether pretty boy Floyd is indeed the one. And let me stop right there. That is once again an excerpt from Socially Sweet, Privately Cruel, Abusive Men. You see, a lot of women end up in emotionally and or physically abusive relationships because they overlook the signs that a man is targeting them, not for love, but to use them. You are not going to pay attention to what a man is doing if you are, as I said earlier, career-driven, lonely, desperate, heartbroken. But you see, these words that describe some of these women, they don't want to admit that that is what is going on with them at this particular time in their lives. They don't want to admit that, well, I'm feeling a bit gullible, right? Who does that? Or, oh, yes, I mean, sometimes I can just be so ignorant to men. No, these are women who assume that they're okay and they're all right. But the men, especially the pretty boy Floyd types, they are looking on the outside and they see the disheartened woman. They see the woman who is in need of some financial help because most likely she told them, or he can see the car that she's driving and he can see what she might be in need of. Sometimes the woman is very good about hiding her needs. And so the man says to himself, well, I can get something from this woman because look at her car. Look at her house. Look at this job she has or the property she owns. And so, like a snake, he creeps in and he charms, and then eventually he takes. And then if that woman stops being so polite, so nice, so friendly, so generous, this is when what appears to be a sheep turns into a wolf. He is going to show his dark side. He's going to become very angry because, well, she spoiled him. She gave him. She coddled him. She said that he was so fine, so sweet, so nice, and I'm so glad that he's mine. And when women do this sort of thing, as my grandmother once said, put your heart out there, it will sooner or later be trampled on. Because you see, if I am not walking closely to the Lord and I am more concerned about getting my fleshly needs met, I'm going to eventually fall in the enemy's snare. The enemy will come through a man, through a woman, even through a child. Mommy, he's the one. Mommy, he's a great catch. Mommy, you need to go out and live a little. And then before long, the poor child is thinking, why did I even encourage my mother to go out on this date? Why did I even tell my mother she needed a husband? Oh, we have some children that are grieving right now for their mother because their mother is heartbroken over her selection that she made in a mate. And the child is too, because they have to witness the abuse. They have to listen to the arguments. They have to be the ones that run into the room and put their headphones on because they don't want to hear what is on the other side of the wall. And this sort of thing does affect children who eventually become adults and who may copycat the same behavior. This is why it is so crucial that, one, make sure that he or she makes the right choice early on in life before watchful eyes are looking and watchful eyes are saying, that poor woman, that abused sister, that hurting daughter, my sad mother. Pretty boy Floyd, everybody wanted him, thought he was so handsome, so nice. You got yourself a good catch. And that victim holding her face, or that victim rubbing on her back, or that poor victim who has had way too many doctor's visits this year behind pretty boy. She feels so guilty, so betrayed, so angry inside. Please do stop by my blog, Laboring to Love an Abusive Mate.blogspot.com. Look up what your situation might be. Pray, ask the Lord to give you the strength, the guidance to talk to someone who might be in a situation like this, or to create a plan to get yourself up out of an emotionally and or physically abusive relationship. Thank you so much for listening. Blessings to you.